An example of organ dialect is when an obedient boy, okay, mali akong example ganina, wet on his bed. Wetting his bed sends a message that he does not wish to obey parental wishes. His behavior is really a creative expression, for the child is speaking with his bladder instead of his mouth. So, consciousness and unconscious. A second example of a unified personality is the harmony between these two, the consciousness and the unconscious action. So, unconsciousness is the part of the goal that is neither clearly formulated nor completely understood by the individual. So, unconsciousness is something that we don't understand, something that is not clearly formulated, while the consciousness is thoughts that are understood and regarded by the individual as a helpful striving for success. So, kanidong duha, kanidong awareness na to, kanidong thing that we understand and the thing that we do not understand, it is an example of a unified personality. Kanang ang harmony nilang duha babali ilahang tandem. Okay, the example of a unified personality is the harmony of these two. So, unsa may giingon ni Adler ani? We cannot oppose consciousness to unconsciousness as if they were antagonistic halves of an individual's existence. The conscious life becomes unconscious as soon as we fail to understand, and as soon as we understand an unconscious tendency, it has already become consciousness. Diba? As we remember, kang Sigmund Freud, it seems like the consciousness and the unconsciousness is kanang dili nasa sila kanang kalaban silang duha na good. Unconsciousness is trying to do something that consciousness doesn't want to, but in the individual psychology, dili daw ni sila kanang antagonistic half, dili ni sila magkalaban. Instead, it is part of a unified personality where the social life becomes unconscious kung dili daw nato ma-understand, if we fail to understand it. Okay? If a conscious life failed to be understood, it became unconscious. But if we understand it, if a life will be understand, then that unconscious tendency will become a conscious. Okay? Na-gets ninyo ang pasabot niya, gina-try niya pasabot niya. The consciousness ug unconsciousness, dili sila dili sila something na nag-ilog sa kinsa ang palabaw na good. Kanang balance lang silang duha. Okay? Social interest. Sige, this is the fourth tenet. The value of all human activity must be seen from the viewpoint of social interest. Yan naman tagkuan, mention sa social interest, pero unsa man ang social interest? Okay, social interest is Adler's somewhat misleading translation of his original German term, Gemeinschaft. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's, I think, na siya pagka-pronounce. Okay. Gemeinschaft is translated into social feeling, community feeling, but Gemeinschaft actually has a meaning that is not fully expressed by any English word or phrase. Okay? Gemeinschaft has no walay katumbas nga English word sa iya, ha? But roughly, it means a feeling of oneness with all humanity. It implies membership in social community of all people. Okay? Gemeinschaft, wala siya katumbas na English word, but it means a feeling of oneness with all humanity and implies membership in the social community of all people. Okay? A person with well-developed Gemeinschaft strives not for personal superiority but for perfection for all people in ideal community. Okay. Social interest can be defined as an attitude of relationship with humanity in general, as well as empathy for each member of community. Okay? Social interest is defined for how we relate to other humans and how well we emphasize to them. Okay, it manifests itself as cooperation with others for social advancement rather than personal gain. Okay. Social interest is a necessity for perpetuating human life. So, social interest, being a member into a society is something that we really need to do. But humans is not an island, and we are a social animal. Okay? We need others, okay, in order for to survive. Okay? Social interest is the natural condition of the human species and the adhesive that binds society together. So social interest is something that we really need to have in order to us to be united. Okay. Okay. Origin of social interest. Ahaman gikan si origin of social interest. Okay. Ahaman una na-build si social interest. It originates from the mother-child relationship during the early months of infancy. Every person who has survived infancy was kept alive by a quote-unquote mothering person who possessed some amount of social interest. Okay? Every person has had the seeds of social interest sown during those early months. So, infant pa lang ta, social interest, katong pinaka first naman nga katong ginakuan pa ta napatay mother nga nagakuan sa to gaalaga sa to at that early stage we are already building our social interest. And but as the child grows up, the two parents, karang mother and father has a na sila role na kailangan nila anuhon kana i-play para sa bata. Katong silang duha, si mother o si father, sila sunod nga relationship nga makapaano sa social interest sa bata. Very important person, okay? Mother's job is to develop a bond that encourage the child mature social interest and foster the sense of cooperation. So, ang trabaho ni mama is to develop the child's mature social interest and sense of cooperation. Mo na iyang job. Well, the father's job is to demonstrate a caring character towards the mother and to as well as to the other people. So ang trabaho ni papa is like mahimo siyang role model sa bata to become to show the bata nga good role model sa bata, because if that father showcase something that is not good para sa bata, if it is if the father is showing detachment or the father is showing authoritarianism, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, authoritarianism, maka-affect po na siya sa bata. Like, di ba, kung ang papa is detached sa mama, wala siya nag-show o caring character sa iyang asawa, siguro si katong bata, pagdako niya is ma-influensyan siya sa katong gipakita sa iyang papa o maka-develop siya og rough sense of social interest, a feeling of neglect, and a parasitic attachment to the mother. And kung authoritarianism naman po ang gina-showcase sa papa, maka-influence po na siya sa anak. Okay? Ang kanang anak nga makita niya nga kanang tyrant kaayo, ang bata maka-learn po to strive power and personal superiority. Bali siya po kay pagdako niya ba man po siyang tyrant na nagod. Adler believed that Adler believed that age of 5, the effects of heredity became blurred by the power of influence of the child's social environment. By that time, environmental forces have modified or shaped nearly every aspect of a child's personality, di ba? First, it originated to mother-child relationship, then parent-child relationship, then at the age of 5 padako, ang mag-influensya na po